always a pleasure to know you're watching us every Saturdays from 10 to 12 a.m. on Talking Point. This would be the last edition of Talking Point year 2016. Today, the teachers meeting in Bamenda to find a way forward as far as the plight of Anglo-Saxon education in the country flopped. Meantime, a meeting in Yaoundé with lawyers also flopped to find a way forward as far as the crisis plaguing common law in Cameroon. Meantime, bishops of that part of the country in the northwest, bishops of the Bamenda Ecclesiastical Province, have also sent a memorandum to the President of the Republic calling for a federal state for Cameroon as a permanent way forward as far as the social crisis is concerned. Plus, President Paul Biya addresses the nation this evening. Expectations are high. Good morning and welcome. Welcome back. If you're just joining, you're on to Talking Point. My name is ANJIANJEI Constantine. Call me the newsman. On this program, I speak English. You can reach us or make your voices heard either in English or in French. With me in the studio is a group of carefully selected guests with whom we shall be touching on the different talking points that have characterized this week. To my right is a gentleman who has left his mark, is a guest that we never have all the time on our program. Dr. Simon Munzu has been the UN Secretary General's special representative, deputy special representative for Côte d'Ivoire since the 7th of October 2014. He has experience in political affairs, human rights, law, academia, and management. This same man has been acting head of the United Nations Human Rights Field Operation in Rwanda, a senior policy advisor with the UNDP, Director of Political Affairs in the United Nations Stabilization Mission in the Democratic Republic of Congo, one-time National Secretary for Economic and Social Affairs in the Central Committee of the CPDM. He took part in the Tripartite Conference of October and November 1991. He was also part of the owner-led 11-man technical team to draft the Constitution of Cameroon that included 4 Anglophones and 11 Francophones. Strongly an advocate for the return to federalism to safeguard Anglophone heritage. He convened the All-Anglophone Conference in Boya in 1993, and also the All-Anglophone Conference that was massively massively wanted federalism. Good morning, Doctor. A whole lot of portfolio there for you. Good morning and welcome to Talking Point.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
And of course, just close to him, we have a household name. He's a politician. He's also a lawyer. Solicitor with the Supreme Court of Cameroon. Good morning, Barrister Arthur Julius, and welcome to Talking Point.
Good morning, Constantine. Hello, panelists. Hello, televiewers. We come here today to give you a talk show.
And of course, just close to me is a colleague of mine, a friend, a brother, in the person of Ashu Akepe. He's also going to be joining us on this program to analyze these talking points, put questions right straight to the different guests that we have in the house. If you're just joining once again, you're on to Talking Point. You can use the numbers that are on our screen to send your messages to make your voices heard as far as the different talking points are concerned. Well, we watch this very first part of the program. To see if you're ready, we're going to be taking the review of the papers. What the papers have time for this week. Watch this. The meeting. The Sun newspaper today says that Anglophone lawyers and teachers strike runs into storm. The article explains why the 2 interministerial committee meetings failed both in the teachers and the lawyers in Bamenda and Yaoundé respectively. According to the article, the 2 bodies maintained that government must unconditionally free the close to 30 Anglophones arrested during the protest and cease from fanning division between the northwest and southwest regions as prerequisite for meaningful dialogue. The Sun also tells us today that CEMAC heads of state have preferred to go for a structural adjustment program instead of a devaluation of the franc CFA as suggested by the IMF. This measure, according to the Sun newspaper, is to enable the sub-region cope with the fuel price drop-induced recession. The Median also explains why government's bad faith is not helping to solve the problems of common law lawyers and Anglophone teachers in Cameroon. According to the article, the strike will continue. courts and schools in the northwest and southwest regions will continue to remain closed until government frees the close to 30 Anglophone protesters they arrested in Bamenda and Boya. The article also explains how government intentionally constituted the teachers and lawyers committees only with Northwesterners so as to provoke Southwesterners and fan division between the two Anglophone regions. Details inside the Median today. The paper also adds that 29 of the scapegoats of the Bamenda protests are feared missing. The paper reports that they were ruthlessly arrested and detained under inhumane conditions and that some have been tortured to death. Details inside the Median today. La Nouvelle Expression today captions and says that common law lawyers refuse to be baited and walk out of the meeting in Yaoundé. According to the article, the president of Faco Lawyers Association, FACLA, who doubles as the president of the Cameroon Anglophone Consortium, Felix Agbobala, ordered his peers to walk out of the meeting if government refuses to release protesters they arrested in Bamenda and Boya. Details on page 3. La Nouvelle Expression also says on page 4 today that the sugar sector in Cameroon is stifled by the Trade Ministry. According to the article, Luc Malgloire Atangana is banning importation of sugar and at the same time issuing licenses to his brothers and friends to import sugar at the detriment of domestic gains. Details inside La Nouvelle Expression today. The paper also says that 5 kids have survived a kidnap attempt in Chang last Sunday. According to the article, these toddlers were transported by a commercial bike rider to an unprescribed destination until they had to scream at the top of their voice to be saved. Details on page 2. According to Le Gisal today, 19 war weapons and 1,608 munitions have been identified and seized from hoodlums in Tuboro and Gaundere. The article adds that it is thanks to the bee that these weapons that had been used to attack and kidnap citizens were seized and handed over to the governor of the Adamawa. Details on page 3. Le Gisal also tells us that Paul Biya has written to the people of Garwa. The message from the head of state was read to the people of Gara by the Alamido Alim Garga Hayatu during a Meet the People tour that ran from December 13th to the 17th this year. Details on page 5. And Louis Giselle tells us that as from January 9th, 2017, they will become a daily newspaper, publishing every Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And so this is how the newsman sees the papers this day in Cameroon. Thanks for your attention. And so, gentlemen, that's what the papers had time for in the course of the week. I turn to you, Dr. Simon Munzo. You listened to the papers.
The meeting to address the
that came to your attention. Perhaps you have some comments to make.
Well, I mean, evidently the story that caught my attention is the one to do with the teachers and lawyers strike. By the way, just one very quick point of correction on something you said in the introduction or in introducing me, namely that I was co-convener, not the convener, but co-convener of the All Anglophone Conference, because it was convened by myself, Professor Carlson Anyangwe, and Barrister Ekontang Elad, just so that your listeners don't make any mistake about that.
But that's what is on because I got this from the web. That's what is on the encyclopedia.
No, I don't know what's on the web, but I'm correcting that I was co-convener because there were 3 people who convened, and so they become co-conveners. But going back to the press review, it is unfortunate that the talks between supposedly between the government and the lawyers on the one hand and the teacher unions on the other are stalling the way they are. Because in fact we do need to find a quick solution to this problem because our children need to go back to school. Our courts need to get back to full functioning and operation. And it's unfortunate that this dispute is stalling and now running virtually into its 3rd month. Nevertheless, you know, talking about children going to school, there's an attempt to use that as a kind of blackmailer, especially of the teachers' unions. All of us are concerned about our children going back to school, but all of us are also concerned about the quality of education that our children receive in school. A responsible government, in my view, would have made sure that the modalities for organizing this meeting with teachers are such as to make everybody feel at ease, have a sense of confidence, of trust, a sense that the undertakings that are given will be carried out and so on. Now, what I hear from the teachers is that the manner in which the panels and the committees have been constituted, the way they're being chaired, who decides what items are to be